business info, and they wanted to, rather than submit a script, they wanted to share a video of their sample course, so that's where we use this topic. So it's all open, we don't ask, and that's why it's increasing more, because other teams require business certification. The garage doesn't require business certification. So this is another example. This is part of the gaming garage chapter. I think again about gaming and Microsoft, obviously there are things. But good point about the garage is we are not just limited to Microsoft tech. You might think Microsoft is all closed down and it's like, I can't work on Google, I can't work on Facebook. We have all the tech about that, and that's what we want people to learn. Even if you're staying tonight, you are all welcome for a meetup on mobile at Microsoft, which is all about Android and iOS development in the company, of how you can cross-pollinate. So this chapter has all AR, VR, MR devices that you can possibly think of. And you guys know what AR, MR is? Yes, good. You're the first person who, asked about. So mixed reality, but the difference, I'll explain. So how many of you don't know about AR, VR? Anyone?
Obviously, if you do that.
Okay, so I can start with the one minute. So AR is augmented reality when you can see the real world and the digital world together. Virtual reality is where you cannot see the real world, only the virtual world. And what mixed reality is, Microsoft says, you were asking about, right, for someone or else. But there was another person about mixed reality. So Microsoft came up with this brand name saying, if it's the entire spectrum that is called mixed reality. If it's zero mix, it's VR. If it's 100% mix, it's AR. So it's a wordplay. There is only two things on AR and VR. So let's go inside rather than keeping you waiting. But so this is another facility open for all employees to get trained on, start using. We get external non-profits. Yeah. Enough light. Yeah. So that side is augmented reality with HoloLens, Meta 2, which is the HoloLens competitor, 360 cameras, Epson AR glasses. This side is non-AR stuff, VR. So as I was mentioning, it's easy to identify VR when you see googly eyes. You can't see the real world. So these are all VR. This is by Facebook, Oculus Rift, HTC Vive. We have the entire range from small one to Google Cardboard to other companies. We also have something called the green screen here. So I don't know how many of you know about the green screen. I'll not put it entirely down. Oh. So if you see in the monitor in the front, it's blurred at this moment. So everything, I did not put it entirely down. But the point is, it's fully self-serving. You can start live streaming here. These are open source software. If you see, I've not put up a camera, but it's a normal webcam. You can attach it here. And you can use your own curtains. You don't need a fancy green screen setup to start doing. We got a NASA astronauts about a few months back who did his live streaming from this space on YouTube. So there are hacky ways. We want to show employees that you can go open source, you can start hacking. But it's not about the equipment, it's all about employees. Employees come and teach other employees. So even if there was a question about how do you go about building a makerspace, it's not about building and getting access to the equipment. I can share with you the list of entirely things. It's all about the community of one employee start teaching and sharing one idea and how it grows and evolves to something else. Like you might start a thread about pumpkin engraving, and that might become the next generation, some Surface keyboard hand gesture prototype. So that's how ideas evolve, but that's about the community power that we are trying to. So that's another space that we have. So cool.
We're just sitting here for a little while.
I saw you fix it earlier. I thought that was funny. I'm like, look at me. I love it. This is yours.
This is it.
And this is your other one.
This is the hot one.
So these are our neighbors.
I really don't want to be left, but I also just want to stay.
I want to make a YouTube video.
If your business team is working on something creative and you might not be getting funding, you tell it during the 1 week hackathon.
And his phone
Hey, this
number
is
is
the site my team is working on. Do you want other people want to hack on it? And even when we have like companies like LinkedIn acquire, they have their own challenges that people can start hacking on. But as Mike was mentioning, some of them have actually become part of the product. Another switch is also, is if you see from 2013 engineering award and from the 1 week, we try to cater to a lot of diversity. So it's not people always ask us 1 week hackathon all about like coding. No, if you are into finance, entrepreneurship and those kinds of topics, you can have your own hacking piece also. Like our chief marketing officer, Chris Capasola, put up a challenge on create a business plan for getting more Gen X and Gen Y generation, and that was like a hackathon project. So it's all about diversity, shifting from just engineering to more diversity is one of the other topics that we are trying to take care of. So this is another space called from the Maker chapter. This space is open 24/7, 365 days.
So the next challenge is to build a bigger wall.
That's what, okay, my high school did the same thing where they built this elaborate wall with all the different dates, and then they did it where they can't add anything to it now. Like, what are you gonna do when you need to add?
Well, and maybe they'll age people off. 2007 becomes too historical.
So this place is called, and you can share about your project. But yeah, this place is called the Maker Garage. This is open 24/7, 365 days for all employees. You'll find more employees during the weekend and evening than during the day. Most of the activities and events we do, we try to name it around scale it and build, scale it and code, scale it and draw, scale it and groove, so that your manager is not upset with you bunking your day job and coming here. Also, another thing is people always try to ask questions about, hey, can I bring my family? Yes, this is a place people actually bring and spend their weekends with their family here. You can bring your sister, family. Obviously, only the employer is about to use it only because of the safety concern, but a lot of things about kids and other things that we try to promote. Another good thing about this space is we try to have, if you've never made anything before, we start with, I can make your maker in 5 minutes with button making. You'll not cut your hand, you'll not die. And that's why, then into metal stamping, to pyrography, which is like writing with fire on wood, just like a pen thing, to making your team stickers. And that's how people start growing their skills, that even if you're scared, you might say, no, I'm like too techy, or I'm not techy. So that's the kind of diversity we bring in. Or we have something called a t-shirt printer. You might have seen other types of t-shirts where you take like a lot of time. This is a direct-to-garment t-shirt. So it looks like a normal inkjet printer, but instead of paper, you just put the t-shirt, and you can get the print within a minute. That's part of our Wearables Garage chapter community. Yeah, and it's all fully self-serving. Employees can get trained, use anytime. We provide most of the resources, so all the consumables, we take care of it. We have cameras installed, so there's like cameras on top of it, so even before employees come here, they can track at what time the space will be available, who's printing what. Every Thursday night, we have something called Scale It and Build, where makers and hackers across the company just gather here. And we provide free food, that's another incentive, apart from the machine. So yeah, I stay till midnight or 1 a.m. on Thursday nights. And it's like, yeah, don't you get bored? But there's so many crazy things happening that even if you're getting stuck in the day job, this is the avenue that people can come and hang out kind of thing within the company. Another thing that it also helps in switching jobs. Even in the company, there are 50,000 employees just in Redmond. And you might, once you take up your full-time job, whenever you guys decide, you'll figure out the first job might not be a perfect fit, but because of the different options you have to choose. But so that's kind of switching. It's even in the company you think like, hey, I've entered Microsoft, I can figure out quickly. It's quite difficult even navigation into the company only because you don't know so many people. So this place acts as an avenue where we try to connect to different people. Hey, start handing out with Microsoft research team. You try to start working, collaborating outside your day job, and then get a full-time job. So that's another thing. So we have two areas here. This side doesn't require any training. You can get access to stuff. We have electronic stuff. We have another machine called die-sub printer. What die-sub printer, it looks like a normal printer is, but you can print on any other stuff apart from t-shirts too. Phone cases, mugs, stones, other stuff. And how will you use it? You say, why is Microsoft investing in this crazy stuff printing on mugs? I can start selling on Etsy. First, you cannot sell stuff on Etsy if that's one of the questions that is coming around. Not just Etsy, but who owns the IP is a broader question. Obviously, if you use any of the Microsoft resources, the Microsoft owns the IP. But since we don't have a business justification requirement, we ask you that even if it's not tied to your day job, you want to print a gift. At one point, we were tracking how many business proposals gifts got made and ring boxes and other stuff out of the graph. So as long as you're not planning to sell it, you can use all these equipment. And how we are using that equipment, like dye sublimation printers, augmented reality example I was giving you there. I made an example where I did a full body 3D scan of myself, made myself into a game avatar, 3D game character, and then using my cell phone, I first put a marker, printed the marker on the mug. So as soon as I take my cell phone in front of my mug, the mug becomes like a game environment. I have a YouTube video to that. I'm a YouTuber. And the plan was to throw myself in the mug. And that's how the kind of things that we teach employees. Obviously, you'll say, why will employee be taught? So the thing is, employees want to learn something, but since garage is all voluntary, you don't ask people to come here. It has to be fun. So we are teaching a skill which is important for a tech area through a fun way. Okay, so you learn two skills. You learn how to make and print things on mug, but you also learn a tech angle. So that's why we always try to balance, like we have a pancake printer, we have a big community around urban farming and growing. Across the campus, if you would go and see the lettuce growing in different hydroponic towers, that's an urban farming chapter working together with Microsoft Teams, and it's all cloud connected. So with pancake printer, we do fast design workshops. And it's like pancake printer, fast design, how do you teach? So there was a team, they wanted to make a team logo, and we wanted to teach them the basics of gradients. We said the pancake, wherever the batter goes, the batter which is staying for more larger is more darker in shade, and which stays lighter is basically like a monochrome. That was a test that you have to make your design, print your design, and then eat your design kind of thing. So it was a fun, hacky way that we tried to teach, again, a scale of fun pancake printer, but also on fast design. So those are some of the creative examples that we try to go out of our way to teach employees. So that's, yeah, you can walk around, you don't need to stick here. But yeah, when I'll keep saying stuff. So this was, also we tried to figure out what employees are interested in. There was a question about how do you decide equipment. For us, it's quite easy. Whatever employees are interested, we cannot bring everything, but we use some of the metrics and surveys. So cosplay, as I mentioned, was a big theme about 2 years back. So this machine is called Vacuum Former, where you can create multiple copies of it quickly. Cosplay community wanted it, and I said, okay, I'll buy a small one. They said, no, we want to build from scratch. So people from Xbox, Azure, Outlook, they spend their evenings build this thing from scratch. But dining teams saw our scenario. They said, we're trying to build like DIY compostable plates. Can employee come and make their own custom plates here? And like, yeah, why not? So that's another scenario that people are making their own plates and starting to do it. So again, no business justification, but people want to use it and try to do stuff with that. I'll quickly go to the others inside space. So yeah, just feel free to walk around. People usually leave this the project that they have made. There's a big community who keeps on sharing their projects. This place is called the Advanced.
Like a vacuum form press.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even know what that is.
This, you create a hole that goes under this, and then you shut this all up. That pump sucks the material to it. Creates that. So you can do a bunch.
They use them out of wood.
Well, they built this from scratch. So
Did y'all get a lot of ideas from the lab? Awesome. For like ideation lab at college from here last year?
This, not really. We have, the aviation lab is not really built out yet. It's just the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's our job this summer.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's turning that into this.
Something like
So
that.
essentially, yeah. Obviously, this.
this idea is not, this never occurred to me, Kenny. When you say make the lab, I always think very sophisticated, but simply starting, having things where students can start doing simple things, making stick houses, putting buttons, doing Legos, and then slowly, just having more
Being
fun
creative,
and exploring more, and then getting more.
La Tech has one,
advanced.
and it's pretty nice. And they have these punch cards that once you're trained on a certain machine, you get a punch, and then you can use that without supervision or whatever, and that's how they cover the liability side. So if we had training for some of this stuff, we could have students in there using it. The 3D printers are a little different. You have to, involve any CAD drawing and stuff, but a lot of this stuff
Was your motivation to get the 3D printers last year after visiting here?
I would have to say I felt an urgency because
Yeah.
things weren't moving. It wasn't clear what we needed to do to make things move. And once you start getting, I got one because I'd always been wanting to get one.
Right.
And I never had, like literally over 5 years.
Right.
Finally got it, and I asked the students in the office to start using it. They had a competition, and then you start to see the reaction, and it's like, we gotta get some more.
Get it, build and they will come.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful that you decided to take that step because I think that was a huge. I think that set the trajectory of what is going
Well, it could
to
be.
be
That's
expected.
the first step. It's amazing. Like they probably have a lot of cool things that are very easy to get.
Yeah.
Labs Group Review.
Sorry?
Labs Group Review, whereabouts are you from?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, LSU, Louisiana State University.
Okay.
We have some space and we're creating a maker space and just getting ideas of how it might be used.
Students interested in entrepreneurship can have there's a lot of tools that are all in this. Like LSU pretty much has everything like in this little place over here. They're just scattered around, like literally everywhere on campus. How can you find a way where like people are actually able to use them?
Well, the idea is to bring everyone from the different disciplines together. Your business majors, your engineers, your music students, your political science students. Find a place for them to all come together and put their ideas
Into play and have them realize they can do it. That's easy.
I was talking to Kenny. My objective for this summer is to catalog and create a database of all the different students' ideas, what their ambitions are, what they want, and then figure out what they're missing. What part of their team are they missing? And then find an engineer who's great at coding but isn't maybe that creative. Find a business student who has a great idea but doesn't know how to write software. And then create a list and then pair people together and help them find out what pieces they're missing.
Do the recruitment for them.
Get ready for next startup weekend.
I was a recruitment chair for my fraternity, and that's all I can think about. That's what my objective was for this summer.
That's really cool. Let me know, or please reach out to me if you need
So
like
we
any
want to
help
follow
finding
them, we
people.
help them take
I
their
know
idea forward.
sometimes you get
There are
siloed, you
like
being in the
certain
graduate
levels
school.
of it.
Yeah.
It's easy to make an add-on for an existing idea. That's easy to find. But a new generation like Horizon 3 ideas that you say, which is a new innovation, it takes more and more time. But we don't say people, hey, this is maintaining innovation will help you out. We try to help both these. But again, we let them choose the path that they want to build rather than we telling, no, this is the path. And sometimes we have to have different options open. Even if you might find that someone wants to again make $1 billion idea, but the company says no, we are investing on Azure, or we are only investing in Office plugin. So you have to have a director. Hey, I want to don't leave my idea. Can have a maintaining kind of thing.
So whenever like Microsoft wants, it might just come here and be like, we can use this in our bigger space, and then everyone like kind of picks that or has options to do that.
Can you repeat size?
So I'm saying like, say, since there's a lot of innovation in the garage space, so Microsoft can maybe choose to incorporate that in their facility. Is that how it works?
It's already integrated, so we don't tell or prescribe any policy. And we are, just to be clear, we are not the only place to innovate. If you got a sense that garage is the only place to know, the entire company innovates, and that's how we get to innovate. Because those people come here and bring their knowledge and share with the people. So it's not that whenever someone is looking for innovation, they come to the garage, like, hey, I'll pick up the innovation, take it back to my team. Everyone is doing innovation in their own teams, and that's how they come and share stuff. So we do a lot of workshop sessions. It's not just about the equipment, and that's how that cross-pollination happens in the company. Does that make it clear? Any other question?
Have any like big innovations come out of like the garage that have been like implemented to the entire company?
Like the Xbox adaptive controller that Mike talks about.
Oh, so I was just like asking in general.
Yeah, so
like,
there are. That's why we've started getting more investment. That I don't know if Mike told you about the history of the garage, how it started. In 2008-9, people were sitting in the conference room hiding outside their day job. Just like, hey, I want to work on my idea. I don't care if my manager supports me or not. There was like few people, crazy people like me, and they started doing some stuff. But some of the things that actually started coming and becoming part of the products group. So when Satya arrived, he saw no one asked them to sit in the conference room and make these things. So there is some value on promoting kind of thing, and that became like a big trend that things get integrated as part of their products too that gets implemented, but it's not 100%. It might be like 70% goes to, I will not say waste, but learning, and 20% gets integrated. But definitely, that's why we are getting more and more funding, because a lot of products that come out of the garage are integrated into the day job. So if you go to garage.microsoft.com, that's a public site, you'll see more examples of some of them.
Satya is the CEO.
Yeah, Satya Networks. Yeah, we are so used to
To the class in high school where they made the clothes and used the laser cutter for the skirts.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the things, like, I feel like being in the
This
engineering
thing
department, we don't
is
have,
incredible.
Yeah.
These are around 20 grand.
I would love to have access to a laser cutter all the time. I could make
Yeah.
so many cool things.
Talk to
with
Tammy.
that.
Where did you get an
have one out.
internship here?
Well, we have one at Innovation Park.
I'm the last one.
Startup culture into the.
So this is the final thing, it's a tiny space, but again, the story comes back to what employees need. And woodworking, metalworking was a big theme in the community. We didn't have space because they were space crunch at the moment. But we used data to show there are 2 kitchen areas next to each other. This was a kitchen, not even kitchenette about 2 months back. And not many of you will be able to come. But I'll show. This is now a tiny wood shop. But the best part about this is, employees saw these Pinterest images and converted them on their side job. Like, this came on the weekend and converted. So we did not ask facilities to make this for us. Employees say, hey, just give us wood. I'm not able to build some of the French fleet stuff in my own garage. Can you give me funding? I can try now. So that's how we built this room. Pinterest in action. That's another example of tiny wood shop, use data to do this. But again, the plan is in the new campus we'll have bigger space and trying to show more scenarios. But again, we've used data to show some of the real projects that came out of it to say, hey, these are the things that employees are using. Yeah, so it keeps on changing as the employees need it. So that's my final stop. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm taking back to you.
This is the next one we're doing?
Yeah.
Wait, we're gonna put in a saw?
Dude, you gotta think big.
So we could turn my, my room into a saw. Just talk to Dave and we did this.
Yeah, just do it without asking.
Yeah. When he comes back from Italy, it's gonna be a wood shop.
Yeah.
That's forgiveness later.
Don't worry, I just took an entire 360 video.
Tech has a good.
Yeah. That's my side project. I've been making 360 videos each year.
Doing what?
I've been making 360 videos. So there's a camera on the front, camera in the back. I put them all together, and then I can basically stitches them. Then you can put on a headset, a VR headset, and then look around. So whenever
So you can see me waving at it.
yeah. Snowboarding, traveling with my grandpa on the NBA trip, everything.
So you don't have to take pictures anymore.
No, that's the thing.
It's
Our generation is so obsessed with taking pictures, they miss the moment. And so having this,
It's got that.
you know, you never have to worry about missing the moment anymore.
Or the back of your head.
Or the back of my head.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Missing.
I like going to music festivals, and I have a Boba Fett helmet that me and my buddy made, and I just mounted it on top of the Boba Fett helmet so it looks like his antenna. But it's really just my camera, so whenever we go, none of my friends have to worry about taking pictures or videos at the show because they know I already have it. And my idea is that, you know, if you're videoing thousands of people, they have big data. You can put in facial recognition software where you only approved faces can be seen and all the other faces get blurred out. Because I know there will be lots of issues.
And at a university, how do you get people to get excited? What?
You doing more stuff in there?
Yep, we're just gonna do a 45-minute quick Q&A session. Okay.
talk about